Well, first of all, now look at the title I have here. Anyone can apply. Well, that's sort of, well, it's a little hyperbole, isn't it? And unfortunately, that's what I got to do to get people's attention. So when I go through these grants I'm going to tell you about, it's not anyone, who's breathing can apply. There's always some, qualifications, but these are in general nature. You can, and see, most of the grants are like this. I mean, they're all have some kind of requirement in them because that's how the law. When they pass a law in the elected officials in Congress, to do something, they want to give money out to do something. Well, they're going to have some kind of requirements. But these are the requirements where they do something. Like if you want to create an idea, an invention, to save the world or whatever, you could apply for up to $1 million grant. That's right, from government programs. There's like 12 offices around the country in the government that gives out grants. Actually, what they give you is like $50,000 to start, to work on your idea. Like I talked to a woman who had a thing with a little package she developed, she was working on, that vibrated and was cold with ice cubes in it. And that stopped the pain from giving somebody a shot for like little kids. She called it Muzzy, or I don't know, like a bee or something like that. So it moved and it was cold. And so you give a shot. See, apparently our pain vessels or whatever it is can only take two things at a time. So it eliminate pain if you give it movement or cold or heat. So he has this little device, you put it on the kid's arm, and it gives movement and cold. So they put in the needle, and they don't speak anything. Okay, she got $250,000 to, $500,000, no, $50,000 to start on that thing. And then she eventually got $1 million to take it national and go on. That's the government do that. And see, they're always looking for new ideas that people have, So that's the kind of thing. So that's the requirement. And here's another one here. So, and that's big money. I mean, so now I usually talk about $5,000, $10,000 grants. No, you got to. Here's California has a $150,000 grant. So that was $1 million grant. This is a $150,000 grant for home buyers who can't afford to buy a house. So they give you $150,000, and actually it's a little more complicated than a grant. But if they put up the money, $150,000, and when you sell the house in 30 years, then they get their $50,000 back. So, but it's money to get you in a house, and that's the point. So that's why you have to look at the details for all these kinds of things, and then no matter what it is. Now here it is $100,000 or more if you want to start a cannabis business. Who is it? This is Massachusetts. That's who it is. Massachusetts is starting people in the cannabis business. And so they're giving money like that to get people inside. This is a big revenue tax generator for state. And so actually what these programs are for starting cannabis business, a lot of states are giving them to low-income people to start a cannabis business. So there's a lot of this that's going, it's set aside, these grants, to start cannabis businesses for low-income entrepreneurs, or even just never even know how to spell entrepreneurs. So that's why it's giving other people a chance who normally don't get an opportunity to do this stuff. So that's the important thing about government. So government isn't like the bank, If you get money in the bank, you don't need money from the government. That's why the government money is for people who can't get it elsewhere. And the government wants to solve this problem with money, so that's why they give it to you. So it's not like the requirements of a bank. and if you don't wind up paying it back, it's a little less hurtful than having Chase have some torpedo from Detroit to come knock on your doors and bang your kneecaps out or something like that. Here, DC government has a $200,000 money to help you buy a house. So that's $150,000. This is down payment money because housing is getting so expensive. They're giving $200,000 down payment money for people who can't afford to do it normally. And that's what's great about this stuff. So that's another thing. Now, all these links I'll put in the description below so you could talk about or value at it. There's value. See, I'm reading and my brain doesn't know. Hey, don't read this. Don't say the stuff you're reading. Say the stuff that finishes the sentence that you were trying to say. That's right. I need an AI in my brain to help me keep on track and remember stuff. That's what I need. But here, that's a wonderful grant program. People want to decide, invent stuff, create new ideas, particularly in small towns, rural areas, stuff like this. And that's grants up to $250,000. Actually, there was a salesman who was talking to me the other day, and his father got this, and they live out in a rural area, Minnesota somewhere, and he got $1 million, and it's to, I don't know, he figured out some way to make water out of mud. I didn't understand it. But what he got too was people from the university to fill out the form. See, you even get free help to fill out these forms, because when you go big money, it's probably a little more complicated, but there's free help to fill out the forms. There's always free help to fill out the forms, no matter where you are or how big, a $5,000 form, a $500 form, whatever. And if you go to findhelp.org and put in applications, you'll find nonprofit organizations that are just in business to help you fill out the forms. You don't know that. I didn't know that until I saw that by accident. And I've been studying this 50 years. So that's what, oh man, I just wish people knew more about the help that's out there for them to solve problems, but they don't advertise, because all we know is the shit that's advertised. And then when they're advertising something, they want your money, because they got to pay for the ads and all that kind of stuff. See, the stuff that when the government does it in nonprofit organizations, it's already paid for. They want to give you money. And they don't have money to pay for advertising, because they think it's a waste of money. We're giving away money, and then we have to pay money to advertise. We're giving away money? That's crazy. Well, it isn't, but they think it is. So that's why you never find these people in Google. All you find are all the people that want to do this. I mean, that want to get money from you. And that's what's important. That's why you have to stay away from there. And what you want to do is go to people that do these kinds of things for free. Here's the 5 places to go to start getting free money and help to do anything. Okay, first place is findhelp.org. Okay, you can put in your keyword there and your zip code, and you'll find dozens, maybe hundreds of people who in your area that help with that problem, that financial problem you're trying to solve, whether it's housing, whether it's education, whether it's paying your bills, debt, business, anything. Okay, and there's 211.org, which is another one like that. I like, they're both all nonprofit organizations that tell you about nonprofit organizations, so nobody's going to charge you money there. But I like Find Help better, because 211, they could also call there, but I don't think it's good to call. It's okay, but don't trust what they say. You have to go in and start talking to the organization. And then if you want to start a business, you're looking for these big grants I was telling you about or whatever, you get free help to do that. People who sit down with you for free and help you find those applications, help you fill them out, everything. And you can get that free help by going to Sba.gov and then /local-assistance, Sba.gov/local-assistance. And I'll put these links in the description so you have them there. Now, another thing, anything to do with housing, fixing up housing, buying a house, anything like that, or financial problems like your debt, credit card debt, and things like that, there's free counseling for that. And you go to Hud.gov/housing. Make an appointment with a local free consultant, or sit down one-on-one. You have to talk to people. You can't rely on knowing you think you can figure out what the application means when you go and find it on the website. No, you can't do that. You can't rely on that. You have to call people, ask them for help, and see if they can help you. And if they can't help you directly, say, hey, then who else can help me? That's the way you're going to find something. You're not going to find something by going around in Google circles for hours and hours and hours, days and days and days, weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months and months. And all you keep finding is people want to sell you something, and you get suckered in by somebody who is a sweet-talking person and convinced, and you don't know your options, so you're going to grab it and get further in the problem you have than you have now. So please don't do that. That's what we're trying to do at Let's Go Help, is teach people how to use these services. I've been studying this stuff for 50 years. I think everybody who lives in America should realize this. Like, everybody who lives in America has to know how to drive a car. Everybody who lives in America has to know how to use a computer and stuff like that. So now everybody in America has to know how to use these government programs, but they don't teach you that. No, they teach about the government. There's 3 branches of government, whatever. No, hell, there's all this money in government. And that's what they should be teaching you in school. So let me teach it. Because not only do we teach it, we have members. We have thousands of members now, and they all help each other, and that's what it's about. It's about people helping people solve their problems. And the problems are out there, and what's neat about the members helping it is that they were like you. They never knew any of this stuff before and started using it and was very successful. So their enthusiasm to me is better than mine because, you can't trust a guy who dresses like this, can you? And I've been doing it for 50 years, so it's hard for me to think of what your issues are when you're just starting. Man, that's 50 years ago. So let us help you, please. That's Sba.gov. Oh, and we give out our own grants too. $75,000 every month. Just write checks. I write those checks, and it's so wonderful to write because then I'm helping people, and I know that. And that's what we do with our profits. We take our profits and help members with that, whether it's $1,000 or $500, and we send out $75,000 every month. Let us help you too, please.